Good evening, and welcome to Counterculture with Danielle Gill. The culture's gone crazy, media's gone mad, and reason has become repugnant. Here, we focus on facts and how to fight back. Tonight, we're going to be talking about comedy. The left has all but killed comedy. They've canceled comedians who cross the line and find everything offensive. That's why many call leftists snowflakes. They can't take a joke. Most comedians ran out of material or found they'd be canceled for saying anything that was actually funny, so all they did was make their material about Trump. That's it. Comedy is all but dead, but there's still an untapped resource of comedy gold, and that's the left itself. That's right. Sometimes we just have to look at their lunacy and laugh. These people who think they can make bug eating happen and lie awake on their beds at night, horrified at the thought of a baby being born now that Roe has been struck down, these people are not well. I think we can all agree on that. You'd have to be crazy not to see it. But not many people are talking about how incredibly silly these people are. Just like children, they have this hyper-simplistic view of the world that's also a bit too detached from reality to resemble the kind of thought processes that normal and functional people need to get by. Like this guy.
Is this unprecedented to arrest a former president for not turning in documents?
A former president that had committed this many provable criminal acts.
But what are the provable criminal acts, I guess?
Provable criminal acts. Well, I'm done talking.
He has no idea what he's doing. All he knows is that the TV told him some things and he just believes them, even though they don't make sense and there's no proof. He must be a federal judge on the DC circuit, completely clueless. And it's a real shame that we don't talk about how lost these people are because it's an untapped mind of comedy gold. Think about the Mar-a-Lago raid and about how all day, while the raid was going on, there just happened to be this story on cable news about what else? Trump's documents. Setting aside the fact that it's suspicious the press was running stories about Trump documents at the very moment the FBI was supposedly conducting a secret raid looking for said documents. Put aside that for a moment. That's not funny, it's frightening. No, the funny part is that the supposedly scandalous story here was the fact that someone found papers in a toilet. And the press was acting like this was some kind of proof that Trump was destroying classified documents by flushing them. The press was ecstatic. What was the proof? Well, CNN, the paragon of investigative journalism that they are, had pictures of handwritten notes in a bowl of toilet water. They got him now. The walls are definitely closing in. But when I heard this story, all I could think was, gross. And how are we supposed to believe these pictures were taken? Who's the unlucky person who had to take them? And where were they hanging out that this opportunity presented itself to them? Were they hiding in the ceiling watching him? Or maybe disguised themselves as a potted plant? It's a ridiculous story. No matter what, it says a lot more about the guy taking the picture than about Trump. That's the real story here. Some people are so obsessed with Trump that they'll hide in his toilet in order to take pictures of what he flushes and make jokes about him. It is sick and wrong. But even if we ignore all that, we have to talk about this insane contention that this somehow means Trump is destroying classified documents using his toilet. Because what's in those pictures aren't documents. They're tiny, handwritten notes. Keep in mind, these are grown adults here saying this. They're contending that a billionaire who's been in business his entire life has no better way to destroy his documents than the toilet. Not shredders, not incinerators. I don't know if you're familiar with what a standard piece of government hard copy looks like, but just think about the last time you did your taxes. Now imagine trying to flush something like that down a toilet. Not happening. How dumb do you have to be to believe this story? You have to be Maggie Haberman level dumb because she's so far gone with her Trump derangement syndrome that she's writing a whole book on what she found in Trump's toilet. It's called, I hid inside Trump's toilet for 6 weeks and all I got were a couple of shots of these notes. A Maggie Haberman story. Instant bestseller. I can't believe the people who are in charge of DC these days, like the guy in the video, they don't even know what they think. They only know that they believe in it very strongly. It's not like they're good at their jobs. They raise prices, raise taxes, and then arm 87,000 IRS agents. Stuff that nobody is asking for, and they're on it like it's their biggest priority. Their only true value comes from how hilariously silly they are. let's at least redeem their weight in comedy gold. I am delighted to welcome our guest today, Lila Hart. Lila is a stand-up comedian. Lila was born in Hawaii with a congenital birth defect, but after 12 surgeries and endless gratitude from her family, Lila is able to walk and walk tall. She graduated from Washington State University with a bachelor's degree in broadcast productions and since has been performing stand-up. She has filled thousand-seater audiences. She began her live talk show, Small Talk Live. Lila, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Danielle. It's really an honor to be here. I'm so excited to be talking to you.
Oh my gosh, well, I am so excited, and I want to start out with your story because it's so inspiring. So tell me a little bit about yourself pre-comedy and some of the obstacles you overcame.
So I was born in Hawaii. I was born with a congenital birth defect called spina bifida and scoliosis. And for those that don't know, spina bifida essentially means split spine. So when I was born, my spine wasn't fully formed, and I had to have surgery pretty immediately. And they told my parents that I would never be able to walk, that I would have learning difficulties and a whole plethora of issues that would happen to me. And my parents, they are really strong people, and I really have to give credit to them for really just raising me well and believing in me. But when I was about 9 months old, I had this really huge operation. It was about to be 12 hours long, and my dad was very nervous about it. So he went into the surgeon's office to visit the surgeon. Also, this was on a military base. My dad served 20 years in the military, and my mom's from the Philippines. And he went into the office, and on the wall, he saw a poster in the surgeon's office that said, "Winning only matters in war and in surgery." And when he read that, he knew that I would be okay. So, growing up, my parents really, they didn't treat me like I had a disability. They really pushed me to work hard. And in fact, my grandmother from the Philippines, that's who I wear this bracelet from, she didn't even see me as disabled. She didn't see me as disabled because she saw me as American. And I'm really grateful that I was born in this great country, because if I wasn't born in America, especially on that military base with access to incredible surgeons, I wouldn't be walking, and I wouldn't have the life I live today. So I'm very grateful for that.